What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake Hagan, and thank you for joining me here on February 8th, 2022. We have an exciting show as we have one of my good friends who I had the pleasure to meet in Las Vegas, Nevada, joining us tonight, and that is Saitama builder, aka Mike Thompson. But as always, let me see who's here in the chat. We got Bullish here. Stevie Chapman is in the chat. Randolph as well. Nick Nasty. Preston Pratt is here. Daniel, James, Ryan, Sports and Crypto, Minion, Steve, and much more. Welcome to Zach Brown as well. Brittany V in the house and Darth Crypto. What is up to Preston Pratt, the best Twitter in the entire crypto space? What's up, Cajun Crypto? Guys, we have an exciting show. We have a very, very exciting show. Over 140 people are already tuned in, 165 people on YouTube. So I think it's a perfect number. Without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the biggest smile and the most positivity that I've met in the crypto space, and that is Mr. Mike Thompson. Mike Thompson, how are you doing tonight?
Jake Gagan, what's up, man? I'm on fire as usual. Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since you've been on the stream, and it's great to have you back on here.
I'm so happy to be here, man. You know, when I get the invite, it's like, dude, I got to make this happen some kind of way. So here we are, brother.
Here we are, and I literally sent the invite, I think less than 2 hours ago. I saw the Binance news that just came out, and I said, Mike, we got to get you on here to talk about that, talk about Saitama, because obviously the price has been going up as well, but some exciting stuff happening for Saitama, to say the least.
Man, let me tell you, it's hard to a degree. It's hard to hold under wraps the amount of just things that's in the pipeline with Saitama. So, you know, the prices are affected, and, you know, certainly the temperament and the morale of the team, you know, you just want to keep feeding, right? But we know that we have to do things in decency and in order, and, you know, it's strategic, it's legal. So, you know, it's like, do we want to do it first or do we want to do it right? Right. Absolutely. So in this regard, we want to do it right. And so it takes a little longer. But man, let me tell you, you already hear it. You already know we're in talks. You already know that, you know my saying, it's on the way. It's on the way.
That is the saying that needs to be trademarked, and that needs to be turned into an NFT, and I'm buying it for 5 ETH if that's a thing right there. But you're right. I mean, I think, look, I will say this. I will give the dev team credit, because previously in the past, you know, they were making announcements and they weren't necessarily coming through. And I feel like they've started to channel certain things through the Saitama Twitter page. And that Saitama Twitter page is really being used for announcements, like we just saw. Like even Russell, he tweeted some stuff last night. He's like, hey, you know, we have a good week on the books. But I think previous Russell probably would have tweeted last night and said, hey, Binance, you know, talking about, I think the dev team has been learning. Do you know if that's been a focus of emphasis for the team to say, hey, like, let's not necessarily tweet from our individual platforms, and let's really start getting things out from the official Twitter page and doing it a little bit more legit?
You know, it's awesome that you say that, because the reality is we are still, Saitama as a whole, we're still in our infancy stage. So in essence, there are moves that you make in infancy that you just have to learn from. And so I believe we've done that. So in essence, we hear the community, we see the community, and we absolutely understand the mindset of the people who we're trying to connect with in regards to this. So yeah, we have to order our steps a little differently, and, you know, create an environment that is conducive for understanding, so that we all can be on the same page. And so, yeah, we're moving so fast, growing so fast. We know, you know, obviously people want news, they want information, they want a surety and all of those things, and we want to give it. But at the same time, there is that environment that we have to realize that some of the moves that were made, we learned from them, that maybe it was just kind of premature. And so how can we fix it? And that's the goal. That's why we hope for the patience, you know, of all of us together, to just know that we're all learning and we're all growing together. But you're certainly in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly. I think look, that's something I look for. Like, you're never, and I started covering this token like very early, around 5,000 holders back in July. And I think, and I don't know this for sure, I've never asked the devs, but I would imagine that they're probably surprised into what they built. I mean, they built one of the fastest growing tokens in the history of cryptocurrency, from 5,000 holders in July to 328,000 holders in February. That's about 7 months right there to have 327,000 people that are investing in your project. Obviously, the SataMask was a token that got a lot, or the SataMask is an application that got a ton of people involved. So I always try to show a little bit of grace, because I understand, I've met all the devs. Like, they're trying to do their best. I think that things happen rather quickly for them, and they're probably surprised. And you can probably speak to a little bit better, but they're probably, I don't know, surprised is the way. I'm sure that they always wanted to build something, so great, but they're probably amazed at just how far they've come and what they've built in such a short amount of time.
It's very true. I mean, you got to consider everybody starts, at the table to a degree with a dream, with a hope, and you plant your seeds. It's almost like the farmer, so to speak, that goes and tends to the soil. He plants the seeds, he fertilizes it, the elements are right, all of those things. So when the harvest actually comes, the farmer is never surprised, but is grateful. Right, and ready to share. But along the way, there are elements that attack the harvest, that attack the seeds rather, and there are things that you just have to kind of create to, learn from what we need to do to get better. But the reality is that when it grows that fast, I mean, I've been in business many years. When something grows that fast, I see Sue Gagan. Hey, Mama Sue.
Mama Sue, represent.
Yeah. I owe her a hug and dinner from Vegas. So I haven't forgot, Mama Sue. I promise you, I haven't forgot. So
shout out to my guy, Ricky Bobby, as well.
My man, Ricky Bobby. So, the reality of that, though, Jake, is that growth and that level of growth, that isn't easy to handle. I mean, I had a mentor to tell me years ago when I was in business, he was very successful already. And I remember I said one time, I said, man, I would love to have your size business or size team. And he said, here's the keys. And he kind of left it right there. And immediately, even though it was kind of virtual, but it was the impact of that was just a matter of, there's Bree.
The whole family's back.
That's right. The family's here. What's up, fam? Virtual hugs. We ain't forgot. Virtual hugs.
Yep.
But the impact of that was, if you were handed this level of responsibility, if you were handed this level of growth and expectation and all that at one time, what would you do with it? How could you handle it? So it's very difficult to to a degree, have the luxury to not necessarily be in it, but get to have words about it, get to say that it's not easy, but to see people, and I'm on the calls, man, I'm on the calls, I'm in the meetings, and I hear the passion, I see the passion. That's why I'm never worried when I see the price about the charts. I'm never worried about that. Even when it's down, I'm not worried, because my emotional state is not connected to the charts. And if it were, I would be all over the place like the charts. My emotional state and connection is in the real tangible efforts that I know, that I see, and I believe of the leaders and the devs that are behind this. And they're in it. They're all in. I mean, financially in it, emotionally in it. And imagine an expectation of 300,000+ people. Imagine that expectation with just a handful of folks. Imagine that.
Oh, I would hate that. That's it's one of the toughest things, especially because it's like investors as well. And I think that will take us to the SataMask launch. Like, I think, like what happened with the SataMask launch kind of ties in directly to this, right? I think first off, and shout out to living in Dallas, Texas,
living in Dallas, my dude.
First off, it's like, look, built it so quick with 300,000+ people, probably more than that, try to log in the first day. They were subject to the DDoS attacks. Now, we don't know who did that, or at least I don't. Maybe you have some insight into that. We don't know who did that, but that's part of also the crypto space. How certain projects don't want other projects to win, because at the end of the day, when a project does what Saitama does and has billions of dollars of market cap, those billions of dollars would have probably been into other projects. Like I said, we don't know, or at least I don't know exactly what happened. But that was one of the issues with growing so fast. And then secondly, talking about the 320,000 investors and talking about the responsibility that you mentioned, Saitama decided to push the swap functionality and shut it down recently last week, because 4% of transactions were getting eaten by front-running bots, which means 4% of people were losing money. I came out publicly and said, hey, I support them. Obviously, it's frustrating. We want it out. I support them shutting it down, because if I was a dev and 4% of my investors that were investing in my token were losing money, I would be forced to do the same thing. I would shut it down. So I think it's just one of those things. It's the first time they've rolled out the application, first time they've launched an application. It hasn't went perfect. It doesn't take a genius to say that, right? It hasn't went perfect. Exactly right. At the end of the day, I still will say that getting it done correctly is more important than getting it done quickly. And that's my personal thoughts. But I mean, would you agree with that statement right there?
100%, man. And let me tell you, even though I come from the business background, it's not tech, it's not IT, but listening and understanding from people who have tech companies, rather large tech companies in that position. Everything that we've experienced so far is so normal. When you actually hear people that launch tech or put tech out in the marketplace, especially the complexity of the tech that we're launching. This ain't grandma's old black and white TV, right? This is a real multifunctional, multifaceted, high-level technology that's being introduced to an environment, to a system, to an industry, and we're at the forefront of that. Every single tech person that I know at the highest level have sincerely and completely understood what we're going through, and they said it's so normal. This is what happens in tech. Sometimes you even have to launch it just to see what the problems are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, there was something that was like trending back in the day when it first went live, and it was like a screenshot of other companies that had DDoS attacks. Binance was subject, Coinbase was subject, Robinhood was subject. So it's like, it is common. Obviously there's probably things that you could have done prepared, but hindsight's always 2020, right? Like obviously once the hack happens or the DDoS attack happens, you could probably say, hey, we should have secured this, like I'm sure Bitfinex, who was hacked out of, the 3.5 billion that was reported today. I'm sure that they would have wished that something would have changed. I'm sure that Bitmart, which we don't really know what happened with Bitmart, but I'm sure they would have wished to change things. So hindsight's always 2020. And I do agree with the fact that, Saitama pushed it back, and hopefully we do run it out. Now, let me ask you, and you can tell me as much as you know or as little as you know. With the rollout of the SataMask launch, I've been, doing videos and talking to people in the streams. It feels like a majority of people in the community want to see the Saitama team just push this out without announcements. They don't want to see like, hey, we're going to go live on Thursday at this time. They want to just see it rolled out in stealth mode. Let me ask you, is that something that the dev team is considering? Do you think that they're going to just roll it out in stealth mode, or is there going to be an announcement down the road saying, hey, SataMask is going live on this date?
Yeah, no, at least from my understanding, I realized this, and I heard Mike Tyson said this one time, man, my guy, Mike Tyson. He said, you have a game plan, right? Like you have a plan in your head of what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. And Mike Tyson says, man, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, it's so true.
And so when that happens, you kind of, you have to maneuver. You kind of have to go around it. So here's what I know. We've seen two sides of the fence. And if we really think about it, all of us can understand. Saitama Bird.
The legend.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. So here's one side. There was the time, like you had just mentioned, we were kind of putting it out there. And I keep saying we, like I'm on the dev team. I'm not on the dev team. For anybody that is questioning that, I am not on the dev team. I am just a holder. I'm in the community and I love the community, but I'm not an official dev member or anything. I just spend enough time with the guys to have some conversations. But I will say this. There has been those times to where information was given out, deadlines and dates were given out, and trying to keep the team engaged. But we see how that was taken, and it certainly didn't work out in the favor that we wanted to. But there also was the other side of it, to where there were talks about, okay, we're not going to say anything until it's like done, or until it's at least much closer to being done than before. And then we realized they got backlash for that too. And the backlash was, man, it's too quiet. How come we don't hear anything? How come they're leaving us hanging? How come we don't hear? So in essence, it's kind of like trying to find that happy median to at least get to the place to where we're getting information out, it's in a reasonable time, and we're executing on what we're talking about, because there never is a time, and the whole time that I've been here, there's never anything that's being just put out there just to put it out there. If it's being talked about, it's being done. It may not happen at the time that it's happening, but I tell you what, if it's being talked about, there's no fluff here, which is what I love. If this is what's being talked about, it's being done. We're around it somewhere.
Absolutely. And I think it's important. It's a learning experience. Yeah. Now, I want to ask you, and I want to ask this to the community as well. 412 people in the chat. Guys, we have Mike Thompson on. We got to get him at least 250 likes with that smile. We got to get 250 likes. So make sure to smash that like button, and also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. But the way that I look at all of my investments, Mike, is from a macro perspective. I try with all of my investments, right? I try not to get too analytical and look at daily charts and what's going on, but let's just all of us right now put ourselves in our same positions in the year 2025. SataMask launches in February or whenever it goes live here in 2022. all the tokens that are listed on the SataMask. Saitama rolls out the NFT marketplace. The play to earn game is doing what it's doing. The Sida City is coming out as well. It's like, are we really going to remember this little problem that we're having here, right? Like, of course, it's been extended. It's been a few months, and I don't want to say it's a little problem. Like, things have happened, but is it going to be top of the mind important? So I try to, obviously I report on it every day, but I try to look at it from the macro perspective. Let me talk to you about that for a second. Is that something that you do as well? You mentioned that you're not looking at the charts every day, but when you're thinking about your investments, is it also from a long-term macro perspective as well? And I want to take that same question to the audience as well.
It's a great question because it kind of is. I mean, it's not that I'm oblivious to what's going on, but I try not to connect my emotions to it because I recognize that all of it is a process. We're here ideally, and we're committed, for the long term to kind of see this thing through, to kind of see it out. So we're just at that phase to where we're not through it yet. So in that regard, I look at it from this standpoint. No destination is too great, or too far when you find what you're looking for. And you kind of forget the process from the standpoint of once you achieve what you're looking for, the things that you felt were such a big deal or big mountain or big hurdle, big emotional hit, you realize it probably wasn't as bad as we made it at that moment. Because all along, the train is still moving. It just isn't getting to the stops. It didn't get to the stop at the time you wanted it to get to, but the train is moving. And so we're picking up speed. So the better we do, the better we get, the more we understand. So I kind of look at it from that standpoint. I would say this, for instance, when the price is down, I mean, if I had planned when I first became a holder with Saitama, if I had planned on this particular day, this was the day that I was going to actually retire with, I was going to send my kid to college with, I was going to whatever, and the price is down. If I had planned that months ago, to be exactly this and it's down, that would bother me. But because most of us don't plan that, it's just we plan to be here. It's just, why do we worry a lot about the instant or the moment when this is a bigger picture? It's a broader picture. So that's why I can't tie my emotional state to the chart, because I would go crazy. I'm already crazy enough. I can't go more crazy if I look at that.
Exactly. And shout out to Crypto Cypher, the lettuce and hashtag. We're going to be talking about that in just a second. And I think it takes a lot of trust. It's like you're really trusting the dev team. Like you're putting your financial investments, and a lot of people have invested a lot of money. And here's the thing too, we've been doing these streams since July, and previously a lot of people were up on their investments for the majority of those streams, and now people are down. So I always put myself in other people's shoes, the people that invested on the way up, the people that invested in November, the people that invested on the way down. So obviously there's a lot of financial interests that are tied into it, but it just comes into really trusting your investments. And for me, I try to be more cautious about what I invest into. Like, am I investing in something for, a quick buy and sell for a day or an hour or 2 days, or am I investing in something long-term? So it's always something that brings me peace of mind. Now, let's take a look at the big news that recently came out. This was via the Binance tweet. So right here, the team announced our live feed AMA with Binance Live is on 2/10/2022. And I went to Binance Live. A lot of people were saying like, hey, it's not the official Binance website and all these things, but it's Binance.com. It's the official Binance stream. I've seen a few of these streams that they're doing here. So Wednesday, and the time zone's different. It's the 10th for people in China. It's going to be at 6 p.m. PST. So tomorrow around this same time, Saitama will be live with the Binance team. Can you tell us a little bit about this? Obviously, this news just broke. I had to do the eye emojis here because it's big news that the Saitama team will be on a live feed with the Binance team. What exactly do you know about this? I mean, what can we share about this? What should holders expect from the Saitama dev team interview with the Binance live team?
That's a real interview. That's going to happen. So in that regard, just know this. If this is being public, if this is being put out on Saitama official and it's stamped and validated that this is a real thing by, our dev team, the official source, then just understand, we're in the business of making connections, and certainly Binance is a big connection. It's a big opportunity. And certainly we are in that position to where it certainly can't hurt to be a part of Binance, right? Can't hurt at all. So in this regard, just understand if we're already flirting with them and they're flirting with us, at some point we're going to kiss.
Yep, exactly. And this is one thing that I wanted to make clear. because you don't want to hype things up too much. Like
That's
this,
right.
in my
That's
estimation, like I said, I don't know for sure, but in my estimation, this is not a AMA that's guaranteeing a Saitama listing this month or anytime soon. But regardless, it's big. Regardless, the fact that Saitama is going to be in a live stream with Binance. And look, what was the title? Let's look at the title. I mean, it says "From Meme to Fame: How Saitama Transits into a Portal." How Saitama transits into a portal to crypto. So from meme to fame, how Saitama transits to a portal in crypto. It's going to be one day away before we have this. But like I said, it's not guaranteeing that this is going to be a listing for Saitama. But regardless, the fact that Saitama is on the radar of the #1 exchange in the world is still bullish news.
Of course, no doubt about it. And we need to take that for what it is and take that for what it's worth and just recognize and know that we are being paid attention to. Trust me, the biggest of the big, they're looking at Saitama, they're connecting, like I said, they're flirting with Saitama, and it's just a matter of when we want to get engaged. And so in that regard, we're doing everything that we can. So our focus has to be that we are going to establish and get our use case, get our foundation, get everything built properly. Believe me, when that's done and that's outright, everything is going to open up for us. It's actually in the pipeline. These things are in the pipeline now. It's just we need to establish what we need to establish and focus on that. And in the meantime, hang tough because it's on the way. I'm telling you.
It's on the way. And huge shout out to my guy living in Dallas, Texas. $100 donation. He said, thanks for bringing the band back together. Let's go, Wolfpack. This is our year 2022. Much love and respect. And that's the energy. That's the energy that we need. Shout out to living in Dallas, Texas. And I agree, Mike. We got to bring the band back together. I know you've been a busy man. I know you've been traveling quite a bit, but man, we'd love to get the band back together, having you on the show and doing what we do, man. I think it's a fun time, and it's been widely accepted from the community as well.
Dude, I'm loving this. And I tell you what, the reality is that most people that we're connected with, and again, aside from a chart, aside from a use case, aside from all of these things, to me, and this is just to me, I hope it don't sound too corny, but this is a real thing, a real thing. I believe so much in relationship. Business and I believe in relationship. If the relationship is right, you can build any business together. You can build anything together. It's relationship. So the fact that we have community and what that means, what that represents, we're supposed to be there for each other. You encourage one another. You support one another. And if things are out of line, then we help to get it back in line. Yep. So in this regard, the community, and I've said this from the very first time I've ever gone live on anything, and I stand behind it 100% right now. Yes, our wallet, yes, SataMask is amazing. It's revolutionary, industry changing. Certainly we have the best dev team. Certainly we have the most awesome, opportunities on the horizon. But our #1 catalyst, and it's been that, and I can prove it. Our #1 catalyst of all of this, it is the community. It is us. It is our commitment every single day to stay focused, keep moving, keep sharing, keep building, keep educating. The community is the #1 catalyst that will turn Saitama into a household name. It's the community. Everything else supports the community.
100% agreed. And look at this, 328,000 holders. Probably will get to 330,000 holders within the next 4 hours or so. But I would 100% agree. And that's one of the reasons that I'm still bullish on Saitama. One of the reasons is because of the community. And I was talking about this last night on a live stream. I was like, look, I understand there's probably some people that left the project. I understand that a lot of people are frustrated, but you look on Twitter and you still see a ton of positive sentiment from the community. People that still believe in the dev team, people that still believe in the use case, people that still believe in the project. I think that's something that's important, right? I think the negative stuff will always, sit heavier. Like it always kind of resonates more. And that's just the human instinct. Like we're attracted to the negativity bias, but majority of people are still incredibly bullish on this project. They still have faith. And all the people in the chat, look at this, 500 people in the chat. And the majority of them are Saitama holders that still have faith. So I 100% agree with you. Community is everything. There's 3 things that I look for when investing. Community is #1, a dev team, transparent dev team that's doxed, working hard is #2, and then the use case. And still to this day, Saitama checks those boxes for me. Obviously, the past couple of months have been somewhat of a lull. It got hit with the bear market as well, which caused the price to go down significantly as well. Like all cryptocurrencies were down. But I still think that Saitama has a lot of potential, and there's still a lot of momentum that could be caught with the launch of a SataMask, maybe a Binance or Coinbase listing, and then this thing's back up in the charts where it was prior to today. Even though today, looking at the charts right now, Mike, a good day following those that listing or that announcement for the Binance listing, up 18% on the day. Look at this massive green candle that came in as well as soon as the Binance listing or Binance AMA was announced earlier today.
Yeah, man, that's a real thing. I mean, believe me, the process and the momentum that's being built right now with all of this, we literally have not seen anything yet. Even the previous all-time high, I sincerely believe and almost can confirm it, but it's not financial advice, right? We're supposed to say that, but I can almost assure that that last high level, highest all-time high will look like a dip in the near future. Wow. It's that much in the pipeline. I'm telling you, I'm in the meeting. So that's how I can speak with at least that level of surety that what we're going to release and what's coming out and all those things and the hard work that's being done by the dev team to make this as seamless as possible. I don't see a close number two. I just don't. A close number two to Saitama. I just don't. When this all comes out.
Absolutely. And it's like, look, there's the play to earn game that's coming out. There's the NFT marketplace. There's the SataMask. I think it's all about getting this stuff out, doing it correctly, and learning from mistakes. Right? And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that there's been mistakes. I think that there's things that could be done better. Hindsight, 2020. But it's all a learning experience, man. There's things that I've learned from in my life. I'm sure there's things that you've learned from. I'm sure there's things that people in the audience have learned from. But the only way to learn is from experience, right?
That's exactly right.
And we all have to remember. The devs literally started this project about 10 months ago, like less than a year old, not even a year old. Yeah. 28,000 people are holding their token right now. So they're learning as they go, and so is everybody else. So that's why I've been showing more grace, because I'm like, they're humans. They're doing their best. Obviously, they don't want to delay. Like, they want to get this thing out. So they want it out
just as bad as we do.
Yeah, dude, I bet they're going to have such a relief when. Oh my goodness. I bet Russell and Max and the team are going to have just such a relief when this thing is out, up and running, and good to go.
Hey, Jake, I do dumb stuff all the time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to see what other dumb thing I can do tomorrow. I just try to learn from it so I can get better the next day. That's all. And we just stay focused. That's all.
That's it. You have to learn from experience, and that's something that I believe as well. Now, let's talk about this tweet. This was probably one of the most talked about tweets from Russell. I saw a ton of YouTubers making a video on it. I made a video about it. Tweeted it last night. He said, "This monumental for Satan. Just finished up booking out my meeting schedule for the following 6 days." Well, we know one of the meetings is coming on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, they have the Binance interview. There's another 5 days left in the week. What should we expect from Russell? I made a video. I was like, hey, I hope he's meeting with engineers. I also said, I was like, I bet he's going to be meeting with some exchanges, probably meeting with a ton of different tokens as well, probably already planning. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously wave 1 of tokens have already been listed. It's 8 tokens. He's probably already planning for wave 2 and already reaching out and talking to a bunch of other tokens. And I guarantee EverRise is at the top of that list. They're having some interesting little partnerships that's going on. We'll talk about that. But I mean, let's talk about this tweet. I mean, what exactly is in the pipeline? We don't have to get into details. I don't need to know exactly what's on Russ's calendar, but it's like, you know, give us as much as you can. I mean, what could we expect for what's coming later this week as well?
This is what I can say, and I say this just from experience. You know, we talk often, we're in meetings and stuff together often, and I can just tell you this, and this is not just from things I've read or things I've heard, but just literally talking with another human being, Russ specifically. He's probably one of the hardest working individuals I know. When I say hardest working, let me tell you what I believe is hard. Here's what I believe is hard, and I'll get into your question. What I believe is hard, and maybe you can understand this, is when you don't theoretically have to endure certain things to endure, when you don't have to necessarily take certain things that just kind of come with the job, you know, when you don't have to do that, right, just for your place or stance in life that you've worked for, but the fact that you are still just as committed as day one, right, from day to day, constant conference calls, constant Zooms, constant person-to-person meetings, constant traveling, right? The sacrifices that's made as an individual from the family and all the above. And then when you even see something like this, when you look at the next 6 days already booked, right? When just the constant barrage of it. So you have to work through all the issues. You know, you almost don't have time to be tired. You know, you don't have time to be hungry. You don't have time to even be down, right? Or you don't have time to relish in ridicule. You don't have time because you're on a mission. And I see a gentleman who is always on the mission for the mission of the team and the mission of the community. And so when I see this, I know that what's coming up is more of the same. These are all things that are in the pipeline, the system of the soil that the seeds are being planted to where when this harvest comes from all of this work, from these things, you're not gonna miss any of the exchanges. You're not gonna miss any of the named people that's coming along, the business connections, and the different ways and places that Saitama is going to be in. To even be recognized in. All of this is in that. So this next 6 days, and I don't know if he shared this or one of the other devs shared this, but remember this: when this launch is basically official, like when this phase of it is done, it was said, and I remember this, it was said, I don't remember which one, but one of them said this: almost every single week after this launch is official, there's going to be new bombs dropped, because now we can release them. So literally every week. And this ain't going to be hyperbole. This ain't going to be just hype. This is like official stuff. So what this is tying down all of those things to make all of it official. So when the time is right to announce, when this app is done and it's in the hands properly, you're going to see amazing, amazing announcements literally every day. So this next 6 days, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised with what you hear coming down the pipe. Saitama is absolutely on the move. It'll be a household name before we know it.
Oh, I love it. I'm excited to see exactly what he has planned. Look, the first bomb, the Binance AMA, that's a huge announcement right there. Now,
yes.
I know that you were in LA. I want to talk about the marketing, and I know that Elon Mansour, Aaron, who I had the pleasure to meet in Vegas as well, he was on one of the AMAs probably a week or two. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about marketing. He goes, "Look, we have a lot in the pipeline. Let's get the SataMask out first, and then we'll talk about that." Now, you were part of, or you attended the Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Cruz event in Los Angeles, California, last year in December. And actually, a little that you might be coming out to Los Angeles this week. So we might have to meet up and grab dinner here in Los Angeles.
We have to. I leave tomorrow morning, man. I'll be in LA all week from tomorrow to next Wednesday.
Perfect. Send me your flight. I'm picking you up.
My man.
But I want to talk about the marketing because look, it's 2022 now and it was 2021. And personally, I liked this marketing play. I thought that this marketing play was a solid marketing play. This got Saitama in front of millions of people. Now, I'm pretty this is I've seen this hat on somebody's head. I'm pretty sure this was the former hat that used to be on the stream from Mike Thompson. But Gervonta Davis, who has millions of followers on Instagram, he was all over ESPN, all over SportsCenter. He actually shoved Isaac Cruz in this, and it went viral in this video. But not only did Saitama get a sponsor of the hat, but they also sponsored and put the logo on the back of his drawers. Let's talk about that. You were there in person. How was that received from the people that actually saw Saitama sponsoring Gervonta Davis for his fight against Isaac Cruz?
Well, I first have to give a shout out to Mr. Terry Briggs and Ariel and the whole team, because they specifically were in connection with the camp with Floyd Mayweather that made this all possible. I mean, everything from Showtime to Viacom to everything that was connected to make this happen. It was multi-layered and it was at the highest level of business and marketing. So the exciting part about that is, hey Jake, I was supposed to have more merchandise to come in. So when the things the press conference and all that stuff happened, I was supposed to have the merchandise and it didn't come in yet. So guess what? The only thing I had with me was the hat on my head that Jake Gagan sent me, and I said, "Here, take this, use this." And so that's why I'm sitting up so high on his head. But with that, Terry and the rest of the crew, they got together and, believe me, connected with Russ and the rest of the crew inside of the dev team. And to make that deal happen, it was an undertaking that I've never seen before. It was at the highest level. And I can tell you this, we still, as of even today, one of the biggest deals that we're working on right now, and I promise you, when we announce this thing, it's going to take Saitama out of the stratosphere. But it is because of this fight. Let me tell you how. And people have said things, oh, the fight wasn't a good idea, wasn't a good thing. Who's that? Shill Rocket.
Yo.
What's up?
From London. My brother from London.
All the way from London. I wish I had that accent down, Pat.
I don't even
know. But I tell you what, we still have, as of today, because of that fight. Now, again, I've heard people say, oh, it wasn't a good idea, it wasn't a good market, all that stuff, right? But believe me, when you hear what we have in the pipeline, we met somebody in Vegas. When the last time I was in Vegas, a couple of weeks ago, We met somebody in Vegas, huge in the entertainment industry. Do you know that they said that when I was introduced to them, they said, "Hey, I know you already. I see you on YouTube sometimes." Huge name in entertainment. And do you know that person said, "Hey, I'm already a holder of Saitama." And I said, "Really? How? How?" He said, "I was watching the Gervonta Davis fight, and I saw on the back of his shorts this word Saitama, this name Saitama. I never heard of it." And literally Googled Saitama, and that's how they became a holder. It was because of that fight. And when you see the residual effects of that marketing push or that marketing endeavor and the relationships that were built surrounding that particular event, this is why marketing is so important. It may not explode the second that you do it, but the seeds that are planted, the connections that are made, believe me, it is going to create an environment with Saitama that from that one seed that was planted will separate us from the rest of crypto.
Absolutely. And look, I feel like marketing has changed throughout the years, right? In the 80s, it was through newspapers and magazines. In the 90s and thousands, it was on TV. And like in 2022 and 2021, like this is how you do it. Like you see a big, like this, I thought it was a perfect marketing play. I thought it was a very, very good marketing play. Gervonta Davis going to be in front of millions of eyeballs to sponsor his hat, to sponsor his shorts. Sure, it wasn't like a link or a code to scan in, but still very, very big. And shout out to Ariel as well as Terry Briggs. Great people.
Awesome
both of them as well in Vegas. They're doing a great job with the Saitama token. But there was a lot of things that probably happened behind the scenes, right? We saw it. Like I was watching it. I streamed the fight. I watched the fight. But I also noticed that in the VIP section, you guys had a Saitama booth. I saw you taking photos with everybody. I saw you taking photos with Paul Pierce. I saw you taking photos with Floyd Mayweather's manager while you guys were all there. So it's like, I'm sure you were rubbing shoulders with a lot of great people too. So not only was Saitama in front of millions of people in the logo, sure, it wasn't a barcode or a website, but the connections that were made, I'm sure, and it sounds like there were connections that were made that set this token for future success and future promotions and marketing.
Dude, even that event, to even get there, here's what needs to be known. To even get into that situation to where you're actually sponsoring a fight, an international fight like that with Showtime, even to get into that ring in any capacity, most people do not ever, from a business standpoint, even get to that point because of how many other opportunities that these guys look for. They look for the highest bidders and all those things. It is an undertaking that I personally have never seen before. So to even get there, even to get to the table, to be able to even negotiate the possibility of this, it's all about relationship. And that's where, again, without the relationship, like I said, Terry and Ariel and everybody, I mean, crap, you got Russ walking out with I
gotta tell you, when I saw this, I'm like, Russ is walking out with Gervonta Davis and Lil Durk. Like, this is Lil the meme Durk, of the century. Look at this.
So cool.
Who's so cool?
There's Russ right there, baby.
It's Russ right there.
And he had a picture, like Russ posted a picture with Lil Durk, and it's like,
no doubt,
it's those small connections, you know, it's those small things that kind of add up. But yeah, I thought it was a successful marketing event and a successful play. But yeah, Russ walking out with Gervonta Davis and Lil Durk, and I mean, that's my thoughts, man. I really think that this is the new age of marketing. Like a lot of tokens sponsor Twitter influencers to post tweets, they sponsor YouTubers to make video. Like that's something that happens, and this was that next step, right? And I'm sure it wasn't cheap. I'm sure Gervonta Davis, like he's with Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm sure it costs money, but I think it really does come down to like the connections that are being made, and it was a successful launch, and I'm sure the dev team and the marketing team can learn from it too and say, hey, this was great, this wasn't great, we like to do this, we want to change this, and I'm sure next time it will be even better. Do you think that there's a possibility that we will ever see a Saitama sponsored Floyd Mayweather fight?
I do. Nice. Because once the relationship is built, I mean, you'd be surprised. Once the relationship is built, you become almost the first right of refusal. That means that as new things come up, as new opportunities come up, you're now in the wheelhouse. So in that regard, we're most likely getting the conversations or the phone calls first. Hey, we're getting ready to do this. You want a piece of that? So in this regard, the relationship is established, and we know people directly in Floyd's camp and other folks. So believe me, we get the news first of when things are coming up. So we see what we want to do. All relationship, man. All relationship.
That's what you started the call with. You said relationships are key, community is key, and we're talking about relationships. And I'm glad that we have our friendship and relationship as well, Mike.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Los Angeles this week. A lot of Super Bowl events that are going to be going on. Now, I asked the community, I said, do you think that Binance will list Saitama this month? 73% of people are bullish, 26% of people don't. I'm going to ask you, Mike, and you can give me your honest answer. I'm going to change this to this year. Do you think that we will possibly see a Binance, and we're not going to hold you to it, this is just your honest opinion, you're a holder. Do you think that we'll see a Binance Saitama listing this year?
Yes. Look how fast I answered that question. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think you talked about relationships and connections, and it's like the fact that there's a AMA with the Binance team, it's on the radar, it's going to keep growing. And I'm pretty sure when Saitama first started out, they said, hey, if you get 200,000 holders, we'll consider it. Obviously, things have changed a little bit, but I think if Saitama, launches this mask, continues to build the ecosystem, there's 328,000 holders that are going to have the ability to go over to Binance and use their platform. And obviously, Binance being the #1 exchange in the world, we saw what it did with SHIB. The amount of volume that SHIB when Binance listed was incredible. Like almost quadrupled, 5x the price because of Binance. So getting on Binance is a huge powerhouse. I want to ask you another question about exchanges. Obviously, the top 5 exchanges is a tip of the hat when you get on the top 5 exchanges. I would imagine that Saitama's probably applied to get on all 5. Can you confirm that, or can you at least talk about that? Like, is that something that's on the radar for the dev team? Obviously, getting the mask out first is #1, but is getting on exchanges still something that's important for them moving down the road, especially the top 5?
Absolutely. In the reality of all of this, from a just purely business perspective, these exchanges, they're not stupid. Where they make their money is off of transactions. This is where they make their money. So as attractive as we are, as at the speed that we're growing and the level and the amount of transactions that we have, that we're generating and continuing to grow, especially when this mask comes out and everything is done right, and they're chomping at the bit. So we're in a very unique situation with that. So every opportunity that we have to add value to Saitama, every opportunity that we have to add influence and connection and growth with Saitama, believe me, it's all on the table. It's all on the table. So in that space, it just means that we get a chance to kind of orchestrate, our own growth. So that's why we have to be patient. So believe me, when the mask is out and everything is functioning normally and we get past this, slight hiccup with getting it launched out, the world is going to open up to us. The world is going to open up to us. And so that's why we just have to be patient, be focused, keep doing what we're doing on a daily basis with our attitudes and things that we're sharing and educating people on, because this is going to be an environment from almost every aspect of cryptocurrency that this is going to be the point of interest in almost every capacity when it comes to cryptocurrency. It's Saitama and everything we're doing. So with our relationships and connection base that we have, believe me, there isn't an exchange in the world in their right mind that would pass up on Saitama. I'll say it that way.
And I think they're waiting. I think they're waiting. They
no doubt about it.
Just like probably a lot of money is waiting on the sideline. Like they're waiting to see this thing go live. And it's something that's very, very important. But something that not a lot of people realize is, like, look at Binance. It towers over Coinbase, almost over 5 times the amount of volume in 24-hour period. So the fact that Saitama has a AMA with Binance tomorrow makes me very, very bullish and very, very excited. Now,
that's got to tell you something.
I got to talk to you about the movement that is going on with the EverRise team and the Saitama team, the Let Us In movement. David Gokstein started this for the EverRise team. Let Us In is something that's been trending on Twitter. And you can go ahead and see here that Saitama and EverRise have partnered for the Let Us In movement. They're experiencing the same things. We just talked about it previously, that Saitama's not really getting let into these cryptocurrencies. A lot of cryptocurrencies are not. EverRise even changed their name into EverRise Inu to get listed in. What are your thoughts on the partnership and the collaboration that we're seeing from both the Saitama and the EverRise community?
Well, EverRise and Saitama is doing the same thing. We're growing. We're kind of in the mainstream. People are listening, people are looking, and they're wanting to know what's happening. And this is a source of information. It's a source of connection, and there's real potential for growth in every way. So in that regard, hey, we support, them and their positivity and the things that they offer to their communities and people that look to them and vice versa. And now that we've made that connection, the union part of this is where, like we said, there's so much room for growth. There's so much opportunity in the crypto space. We don't need to fight with anything. We could join together with things, and there's still a gigantic job to do to spread the word and spread the value in cryptocurrency, specifically with Saitama. So this is just, it's like, what do they call that when an immovable force when a what do you call that? A force meets an immovable object. It's that thing, whatever you call that thing, the power in that, the magnitude of that. Those are the types of connections and relationships that we're building. It's so powerful. So it is, again, planting the seed that is going to create an environment to where crypto and Saitama will literally be that planted flag to where people look to for answers, look to for connection when it comes to crypto. It'll be Saitama.
And I got my guy Zoe in the chat. He said an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I didn't have it. I was like, I don't know.
That's the one. I know it. I was close. That's the one. Thank you. Unstoppable force. That's right.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You can see David Gokstein said the Saitama pack were the first to support the Let Us In movement with EverRise. He had a great stream with Russell. And look at this. EverRise retweeted this. This is pretty cool. I want to talk about this. He said, I said, it's time to get EverRise trending on Twitter. You know what to do. Hashtag Let Us In. So obviously, David Gokstein is somebody that I looked up to in the crypto space for a while since I've been following crypto. And I tweeted this out. 2022 goal. Have David Gokstein join me on a live stream to talk EverRise, Saitama, and the crypto space. Retweet if you want to see this happen. And he said, make EverRise trend and you have a deal. So Mike, you know what? I accept all challenges that are here. So we have 542 people in the stream tonight. I think that we can do something special. I think that we can get EverRise trending and Let Us In trending, and possibly to join me and Mike on the stream next time, we can have David Gokstein on the stream. But he tweeted out, it's a pretty cool opportunity. And I think it's time to take advantage of that. So with that being said, I'm going to tweet out a video and we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to give away 0.25 ETH, about $1,000 in ETH tonight out of my own pocket. Wow. Let's get this thing trending. I want to get it trending. I want to get the attention of David Gokstein. Let him know how strong the Saitama Wolfpack army is. And let's do a giveaway to get this thing trending on Twitter. Hashtag EverRise, hashtag Let Us In. I think that we can make it happen, especially with the wolf pack that's in the house, 540 people strong. And why not bless the community with the giveaway? We're going to be giving away about $1,000, 500 to both people. So if you're on Twitter, go to my Twitter page. And what you have to do to enter the giveaway is just retweet this tweet right here that I just put out. It's a video. Retweet this tweet. And also quote tweet it. So don't only just retweet it, but quote tweet it with the hashtag Let Us In and also the hashtag EverRise. Let's get this thing trending. Let's tag David Gokstein. And we're going to be doing about $1,000 of ETH giveaway here on the Jake Gagan Show. I would love to get David Gokstein on the stream. Like I said, he's someone that I've been following for a while, but let's check out this video if you haven't seen it yet that we just made. Shout out to David Gokstein, one of the leaders in the crypto space. I tweeted this out earlier today. I said, one of my goals of 2022 is to have David come join me on a live stream to talk EverRise and Saitama and the evolving crypto space. He replied and said, make hashtag EverRise trend and you have a deal. David, challenge accepted. One of my goals moving forward for this week is to get hashtag EverRise trending. If you're watching this video on Twitter, please retweet it. Quote tweet it with the hashtags hashtag EverRise and hashtag Let Us In. And let's get David on the Jake Gagan Show later this month. Appreciate your guys' support. Hashtag EverRise, hashtag Let Us In. What do you think? You think that you think we can do it?
I think we can do it. I believe we can, for sure.
Let's go. There we go. We got over 80 retweets already. So everybody in the chat, appreciate you doing it. Use the hashtag EverRise, hashtag Let Us In. Let's see all the quote tweets. Saitama Vern, he approves the message. We got Tony Tran, Mauricio Villagrán. That's a really great name.
How about
Saitama
that?
Step, Trey Oots, TikTok, Manta Walk, Scottish Crypto King. Shout out to Scottish Crypto Says in the chat. Make It Rich. Keefy Keef. Ooh, Keefy Keef. Cajun Crypto, my guy. Crypto Keeper. Everybody, Drewski, thank you so much for doing this, guys. Let's retweet it. Let's get David Gokstein on the stream. Let's talk EverRise, and let's talk Saitama as well. We're going to be doing that giveaway in just a second, but I want to talk to you about that AMA that David Gokstein did with Russell. I'm not sure if you attended it, if you heard it, but David Gokstein really loved Russell. I mean, he's been in the space for, I think, 8 years. And he's like, look, Russ, I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your transparency. And I appreciate you telling it how it is. You know, I feel like a lot of devs hide behind, obviously, images like this. They don't even show their face. And Russell's out there on streams, even when the times are hard. Like, you know, I'm sure it's much easier to lay in bed and not go out there and show your face. But even when the times are hard, he's out there updating the community, doing AMAs, going on streams like that. Did you have a chance to listen to David Gokstein's AMA that he did with Russell? And if so, what were your thoughts?
I did. And it's exactly what you said, is that I was so proud of that moment. And like I said, I think I commented that, you know, I wasn't surprised because I'm on with Russ all the time with different phone calls and things, but the way that he is, his delivery and the way that he, you know, understands things and the way that he gives the information so that you understand it. And then again, his candor and just directness, it's refreshing, you know, in this industry when you can finally feel like at least I'm gonna get real, you know, at least I'm gonna get honest, at least I'm gonna get clear. When you can find that in someone, that's somebody that you listen to and somebody you connect with. So all David said is that it's refreshing to finally be able to connect with someone at this level that just gives it to you straight, right, wrong, or indifferent, just gives it to you straight. And that to me is the sign of a leader, because when a leader can actually stand up when things are not good, when things are not great, and that leader's still willing to stand up in front of everybody, that's when you know when somebody is real. It's when the tough times, not when everything is all hunky-dory and great, but when it's tough, that's when real leaders stand up. And that's what Russ did. And so David appreciated that and respects that.
Yeah, and David, like going on there, sorry, there's a little lag there. Going on there was an important thing, because it's like, look, it calmed me a little bit to hear David talking about it. He's like, look, David literally said, he's like, look, I've been a part of a ton of different protocols and launching tokens, and like delays always happen. He's like, community, Saitama community, give them space. Like the more you just pressure them and ask them to rush it out, the more likely that it's going to be bad. He's like, give them space and make it happen. But essentially that's something that, you know, really calmed me. I was like, oh shit, like this, you know, delays do happen all the time in cryptocurrency. And it's very appreciated. Shout out to BL McFadden. He said, love the show, bro. Thank you to the 524 people that are in the stream tonight. If you guys are ready for a giveaway, go ahead and smash that like button on the stream. Let's get up to at least 350 likes, 350 likes on YouTube before we do the giveaway. Panther Man, put up that Panther Man one again. That is a sick NFT. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to be buying one. And Mike, before we do this giveaway here, I can show you, we got about 200 retweets already. We're going to get EverRise trending. We're going to get David Gokstein on the stream. How deep are you in the NFT space, man? Is this something that you're collecting, or what would you say? Are you in
No, quite honestly, I think I'm behind the 8 ball, man. So I need some real clarity and focus and direction in that. I've been so focused in other area, but the NFT world and things that are coming our way by way of NFT, I have to get my act together with that. So yeah, with NFTs, I don't own a whole lot. The only NFT I have is the one we got for the Las Vegas event.
Right on. Well, I'll definitely help you out as much as I can.
Help me out, man. I appreciate it.
Here it is. I just bought this one today. Nike's first NFT project with Artifact. We don't really know what it is, but all I know is that Nike bought Artifact along with Jumpman and Converse. This is the 4th acquisition from Nike, and they're releasing their first NFT project ever. So I grabbed these today. But like I said, I'd be happy to walk you through anything when the time comes right, because it's a different avenue, and it's something that's going to be taking the world by storm. Now, Mike, we have about 132 retweets and 112 quote tweets. Incredible support from the audience. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure to tag David and let him know that we want him on the stream. Tons of comments. Look at that. We got Bree, Shill Rocket, Randolph in the house, Johnny Botch, Crypto John, living in Dallas, Texas, Stevie Chapman, Ashley 90210, Cajun Crypto, and Crypto John. Ashley's in the house. How do you enter the giveaway? Says Sheeb Mean Master. All you have to do is go to my Twitter page and retweet the pinned tweet. Retweet the pinned tweet and use the hashtag EverRise and let us in. I'll give everybody about a minute or 2 minutes longer, and we'll go ahead and do this giveaway. Retweet the pinned tweet, hashtag EverRise, hashtag let us in. And this is going to be a way for us to go ahead and get David Gokstein on the stream. That's like, that would be massive, man. Like, this is literally something I look up to. And the fact that he's even replying to a tweet, it means a lot. It means a lot to me. So, yeah, I appreciate the community. And you know, well, look, I like EverRise too. I don't know how much people have looked into that project, but I had a call with the team, and they're doing big things. Like, their project is legit. So we'll probably be covering them on the channel here in just a second. But let's go ahead and do the first giveaway of the night. Retweet this tweet. You can see that the tweets are coming in. We're going to be doing 2 winners for a total of 0.25 ETH. So 2 winners for a total of 0.25 ETH here on the stream tonight. I appreciate every single person. Ready. Bree says, get your blue speaker, Bree. You know we have the handy dandy blue speaker ready to go. You know we have the music already pinned up to the #1 drop in the world. And we're going to be doing the blue speaker giveaway. So shout out to everybody that retweeted this tweet. Mike, are you ready for the giveaway?
So ready, man. Let's do it. I miss these.
Oh, man. We are back, baby. Let's get that music pinned up and let's do the first giveaway of the night live with Mike Thompson and Jake Kagan. A lot of exciting things coming for the Saitama token.
Let's get it.
All right, when that beat drops, you know what's happening. We're going to be doing the first giveaway tonight. 0.25 ETH to 2 lucky winners, split up in 2, about $1,000, $500 each. Mr. Yim's ready. Mike Thompson's ready. Let's
always
make it happen. Hey!
Yeah.
Chuck Lowney and PJ Howell are our winners of about 0.125 ETH, 0.25 total for the two of them. PJ Howell in the house. Congratulations to PJ Howell and congratulations to Chuck Lowney. Thank you for their support. Thank you to the community for retweeting that. It means a lot. And hopefully that's on David Gokstein's radar. But more importantly, hopefully we get EverRise trending online in the left movement. This is exactly what the tweet looked like and where it came from. So congratulations to the 2 winners tonight.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Big Mike's coming out to Los Angeles. Mike, we might have to trip to the we might have to hit the town, me and you.
Let's get it, man. I ain't even packed yet, so I throw it all together and I leave soon as it's time to hit the door. So I'm out of here. So we're gonna be there tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be there for the week. So whatever we're gonna do, let's get it.
Yeah, we're gonna meet up. I'll definitely hit you up. And are you going to the Super Bowl? Or is that something that's on your radar, or just coming out here for the weekend?
Let me tell you this: I had 2 box seats, 50-yard line at the Super Bowl, and I gave them away.
What?
I got work to do. I got things around the Super Bowl is the reason why I'm going. So to be at the Super Bowl, tad bit distracted. So, and I hate to say that because it's a major situation, but we've got work. We got Saitama work to do. So I even have to give up Super Bowl tickets to go to get the job done.
If you're giving up Super Bowl tickets for the Bengals and ice cold Joe Burrow versus the Los Angeles Rams in their hometown, you're dedicated to your craft. There's nobody that can deny that, Mike.
Dude, that's a real thing. It wasn't easy, let me tell you. Box seats on the 50 Super Bowl. Ooh.
Dude, those tickets were probably like 20, 30 racks.
Yes.
Because the cheapest to get in is 4 racks. I'm like thinking about going.
Yes.
You can see at the bottom, my buddy Zoe, who is a 49ers fan, who's helping me with the content. He's a little bit heartbroken about what happened the other week. We don't talk about it in this household. He's saying, go Bengals. I'm obviously rooting for the Rams because I'm in LA and I want to see an LA parade. I think that would be pretty cool to see the hometown team win. Mike, who do you got into the audience? Who do you guys have winning the Super Bowl? Spam the comments. Let's see who you guys got winning the Super Bowl. And Mike, who do you have?
I got them Rams, man.
Let's go.
I got them Rams.
Let's go. And Ricky Bobby said, congrats to the winners. Great live stream. Feels like the early days. Let's go. Yeah. I think we're bringing back the early days, Mike. We got to get you back on the stream more consistently, not only because you're great, you have great information, but because I think the world needs more positivity and they need that smile that's right over here.
That's awesome, man. I'm here. I'm ready to make it happen. So whatever I can contribute and make it together, we grow together. I'm all in. Let's do it,
man. We will absolutely do it. And we're coming up on that hour mark. I know I told you we do about an hour. I wanted to get you on here because a lot of people wanted to understand a little bit more about the Binance news and the Binance AMA that we have together. I didn't want to hype it up too much and say that it's going to be a potential Binance listing. I made a video and said, hey, this does not mean that there's a Binance listing. What I did say is that it's good that Saitama is on that radar, right? It's good that Saitama is on the radar of Binance. Yes, it's the official Binance.com live stream that they're going to be doing. And I hope that the Wolfpack shows up strong and shows up to support that AMA that's going to be happening tomorrow.
It's going to be awesome. So again, that connection and just knowing that that conversation is happening, just let that seep in and just recognize that it's on the way.
It is on the way. That is trademark. That's going to be an NFT that I might have to create for you while we have our NFT conversations. Because I'm telling you, I would definitely buy that because I think it's a great trademark. But Stevie Chapman's in the house. The Bengals. He wants the Bengals. I want to say thank you to everybody that is in the chat tonight. Everybody that showed up to support. Everybody that donated as well. I see Maximus, Cajun Crypto, my guy, Cryptic Behavior, one of the greatest mods in the history of the YouTube. We got Christine in the house. She said, Jake, my daughter Celia said hi to Uncle Jake and Uncle Mike Thompson. Hi to your beautiful daughter Celia and your beautiful mom Christine.
Yeah. Did I see Roro in here too? That's my girl too.
Roro in the house. We got Ashley 90210, Cajun Crypto, Empress Ebony is in the house. Rochelle
Empress
Quick,
Ebony.
Saitama Empress is in the chat. Coco K,
Empress.
Randolph, everybody showed up strong. We will be doing more of these streams, and I can't forget my guy Barry the Turtle. We will be doing more of these streams. We're gonna be back tomorrow with a live AMA with the Apollo Inu dev team with a giveaway as well. So make sure to come join us, a Docs dev from the business world that's doing big things in a very, very exciting project. And then on Thursday, I got my guy, Your Pop, coming on the stream. So a lot of exciting things throughout the week. Mike, I want to say thank you to you. And as always, like we did back in the golden days, I want to give you the floor to address the community one final time tonight.
Yo, this is so awesome. I love to be here. I feel so good and definitely feels like this is the place to where we know we all at this moment in time while we're here with Saitama, we've ridden the wave, and now it's that time for us to soar. And so I see us kind of coming together more with more education, not just hype, but more education, which is what I'm loving. The fact that we're learning, the fact that we're understanding the ways, the fact that we're connecting long enough just so we can understand the real power and the magnitude of where we are and who we are. And I told somebody today, and I believe it, I stand on it, at a meeting today, I said, you know what? I believe that Saitama, this is the one that's going to pay you back for all the ones that didn't work before in your life. I believe that. I stand on it every day. I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of us together as a community. All of us matter. There's no big I's. There's no little U's. Everybody matters. All of us in this community, everybody's important. It's your smile that's important. Your encouraging word that's important. It's your attitude that's important. It's your connection. Everything matters. And so when you bring all of that together with all the work that we're all doing collectively, we will have that immovable force. It's an unstoppable, whatever that is.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and trust me, I don't know it. I have it ready to pin in the private message.
That's right.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable
object. Will have that effect. And so all I can say, and also I just want to say too, while I'm here, kind of a selfish moment, but thank you everybody for all of the birthday wishes that I got yesterday. I tried my best to reach back out to every single birthday wish that I got. I tried to type out something specific and individual to everyone. So if I didn't get back to you yet, I promise you it's in my heart. I've seen it, and I want to say thank you to everybody. I love this community, love who we are, love what we're about, and absolutely, I believe that in the very near future, the commitment you make, the stance that you take, is going to change the environment in your family, in your future, and the world will see that this was the place that changed the culture, changed the environment, and literally changed our circumstance and situation. So I'm glad to be a part of this. And for those who allow me in any capacity in your life, I will do my best to give you what I got. Hey, Jake, if I got a dozen eggs, you got 6 of them, brother.
Man, I love that. I'm giving 3 to Bree and 3 to Show Rocket and Cryptic Behavior. We're giving them all away because that's what we do. That's what a baby does. And I have to say, happy birthday to Mike Thompson. I think we still have 450 people on the stream. Can we do a group? Can we do a group sing-along? My voice is about as bad as it gets, but I'm going to lead us. And I know 440 people. I need you guys at home to sing with us as well. So I'll start us off on the count of 3. People, I need you singing at home. I'm going to know if you sing or not. In 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike, aka Saitama Builder. Happy birthday to you and many more. Happy birthday,
Man,
Mike.
thank y'all. Love y'all, community. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Many more celebrations together. I can't wait to celebrate with you. So thank you so much. More to come.
Absolutely. Yep. And
thank you.
I think my voice tanks the chart. To sing happy birthday, and I know that the people did it, and I'm wishing you the happiest happy birthday, and I hope that this year brings you everything that you can imagine. And more to the 400 people still in chat. Thank you so much. That was fun to be back on. That did feel like old days. We're going to start bringing those back more and more. Appreciate your guys' support. Thank you guys for showing up strong. Thank you for bringing the positivity, and thank you for the support every day. That you show up every time. I know I'm speaking on Mike and myself's behalf by saying that. So thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a great night, and let's tune in strong to the Saitama AMA that we are going to be doing with the Binance team tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST. Appreciate you guys' support, and we will see you tomorrow night on the Jake Hagan Show.